guys, if you're new here, I'm Sandy, this is Tim, and we also have a little Chihuahua called Pablo, which is sitting right in front of us. I'm assuming though, if you're watching this video, you have seen our van tour which we posted last week. If you haven't, please go and check that out. The reason being is because this video is going to be more detail into how much things cost, where to get them from, and actually how much this van actually cost us to build.
Yes.
It's not what I thought. So we've spent the last 3 hours?
3 hours.
Going through the entire van, trying to figure out how much actually everything costs. Because I didn't keep a note of that as we were going, which I regret now. I think it would have taken longer.
I think we would have cried as we went along.
It wouldn't have looked as good as it does now. But anyway, I will let Tim run this because he is the main builder or the only builder for the van, and he knows way more about this than I do.
You did some work on the van as well.
I knew it.
Credit is due. This is the budget and finance minister here.
Also, yes and no person in the background.
There was a lot of no's. So before we get started, we just explain we had a build previously and we've used some of the things from that build in the new van. So those costs won't be, well, if we'd already paid for them previously, so like additions that we made after we bought the van, they're included in the costs here. But if they were additions from the previous van that we used or materials that we've used, they won't be in the costs. So that just gives you a little.
We'll let you know how much they are.
It wasn't a great savings, but we saved a few.
We'll let you know how much they are still, but they just at the end, it won't be the total build cost.
So I got out my massive yellow gorilla book of vibes this morning and made a big list of everything we've bought and spent on this van. It's not exhaustive. We probably missed out a couple of small things, so if you have any questions about those things that you've noticed that we haven't remembered, leave a message in the comments and we'll answer you as best as we can. So without further ado, I'm going to pop these glasses on because I'm half blind.
Right.
So I've broken this all down into sections to make it a bit easier and easier for us to convey to you through the medium of digital media.
Oh, the medium of dance. We could
do it for the medium of dance. This is a lie. Looking at the outside of the van, we have the Fiamma awning, which we originally put on the original build. We bought that from Facebook Marketplace and that cost us $700.
Second hand, the new ones are quite dear.
$1,500. We did make a good savings on that at the time. We were chuffed with it.
Definitely check her
and you can go back to that episode if you wish. And then we've got an exterior bug light on the outside, which it switches from a white LED light to a orange LED light at night, so that we can go outside and not be attacked. It doesn't attract as many bugs as a normal white light does. The light bar, that was $40 and we got that from Amazon. The light bar on the roof, that was another bargain. That was $45 from Cash Converters, which was a second-hand shop in Australia, or pawnbrokers as you would know it as elsewhere. They usually retail at about $150, $200, so I was really pleased with managing to get that. Now we get on to the expensive stuff. Max Air Deluxe fans. The Max Air Deluxe fans, we originally had one in the old build which we put in, so we're going to include that in the price. So there was 2 of these in our van and they're $463 each, and we got them from Outback Equipment, which seems to be probably one of about 5 stores that we can actually get these pieces of equipment from in Australia. So the supply here is a lot harder to get than maybe in England or even in the US, and also the prices are a lot different and a lot cheaper over there. Moving on, we've got the Max Air fan dome fan, which goes into the shower, and that was $200, which included the ring light on the top. That was from Amazon. Moving on, we've got the solar panels, which were 2 400-watt monocrystalline panels that we replaced our original ones with. They were $285 each from Star Power.
Oh, that was alright.
Yeah, they were reasonably good, and they were an upgrade, so that was excellent. And then we come to the Sky Max skylight. Now this thing cost $824.99.
That is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous amount of money for a piece of plastic.
I don't think I approved that one.
We did approve that one, but it was because that we couldn't find an alternative at the time. Since then, we have found much better quality items.
About the same price though, isn't it?
$500.
Is it?
$500 for those ones. So we should have looked more into the caravan side of things instead of RVs and vans. That's a tip. If you can't find it off for an RV or a van, go and look on caravan stockists, because some of those guys come up with some brilliant designs, and you know, really, and they're actually quite good value as well. Moving further back on this, we have the reverse camera that we got from J-Car Electronics, and that was $60. That had just clicked up to our original system. It had 2 ports on it. It already had one with a reverse camera down at the bottom, and now we've got a reverse camera at the roof, just so that we can see down, because there's a very big blind spot on the bottom step, which we found out several years ago, and upset some caravan owners. So we've got the electric step, which was $399.99.
Worth every penny.
It was. It does save you a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I don't really step over it. I step over it. I step across it, but that's me. I've got slightly longer legs.
Pablo, because he's quite small.
Yeah, he loves hopping up over the step, so that's really worth it, especially the electric step as well. If you forget to put it in, you can just press the button while you're on the road. You haven't got to get out and push it in. And then we're moving on to the windows. We've got the Eurovision 2 windows, which you can see behind us. They've got the bug screens and the blinds, which are really good. We got them because they were all in one unit. They were $479.99.
Sounds expensive, each. But I wouldn't be without them, to be honest. So
no, I think it's more supply and demand. And when we're talking about blinds as well, we did put 2 extra blinds in the back here, just for the blackout option, and they came to $269.
Oh, they were cheaper.
And they were from Aussie Traveller, which actually was a caravan and RV supplier, which just started up recently, so we actually did really well getting those cheap. Moving on to the water filler on the side. We don't really talk about the water filler much because of the colour and the fading by the sunlight, and that was $30 from Super Cheap Auto, which is a...
Go black, guys, if you're going to get one of them. Don't go white. Yes. They go yellow.
They are terrible. And moving on to that underneath, that feeds the 84 litre water tank, which costs $259.99, and the waste obviously as well, which was a 40 litre tank, grey tank, which was reused from an older part of the original build that we added a water tank to, and that was about $40 for that one. Now in the cab, there's not really a great deal of upgrades that we made. We upgraded this stereo. We actually got a good deal on this because we spend so much money in Super Cheap Auto. We actually got credits. They do a reward screen, and we've got a rewards scheme and they give you credits. And we had like $70–80 of credits sitting in there. So we actually got a new stereo system for the front of the vehicle for $30, which was an absolute bargain. We do have that wired into the actual house battery system, so we can just switch that on without it affecting the ignition or the actual engine battery, which is big because you know how quick car stereos run engine batteries.
We've also got it hooked up to we've got some speakers in the back, which is also hooked up there, so the music comes right
and we've got it Bluetooth. It attaches to the TV, it attaches to our laptops, and it also you can tune the radio into the drive-in cinema. Sorry.
Yeah, the drive-in. It's not that there's many around these days. I think it's one where we are.
The UHF that we put in was actually gifted to us by a friend, and they no longer needed it, so it's a second-hand unit, and it works really well. The ball horn we put in there for...
I did not approve this. He came home and said, look what I bought.
Eamon and Beck, that's your fault.
Yes.
eBay, $19.98.
Wasn't that bad.
We have several different USB charging sockets in the front there that we actually installed. They came from eBay at around $10 a piece. The strip light that we use in the cab above us there, that was originally a kitchen fitting on the original build, so we repurposed that one. The swivel seats we installed, they cost $500 each for the kits. They are expensive, but they are engineered to withstand impacts. You don't want one that's going to fly, the seat's going to fly off, especially when the seat belt's actually attached to the seat itself. So you're paying for the engineering there and the safety certificates. You get a compliance certificate when you actually buy the thing to show that it's been modified.
I reckon it's worth it though, because it actually increases your living area by a significant amount. It creates, you can be able to use that cab area as a lounge area if you need to. So absolutely worth the money.
Prior to that, we just used to unbolt the seat and turn it
around.
Which was great, but like it was a mission every time we did it. So and underneath
and I couldn't do that.
now you can do it. So now you can just spin around and it's amazing. Underneath that, we got the diesel heater that we originally put in, and that was $169.
We got a cheapie.
That was a cheapy Chinese one, and we've never had, touch wood.
Fine. And we've had it for how long? 2 years now?
Ooh, we put it in the first year we had it.
In saying that though, we do live in Australia and it's not cold here like it is in other countries, so we don't use it constantly. So
we don't use it constantly, but we do run it regularly, so it doesn't have that issue where it starts smoking and clogging.
You don't have
that
wear though with it, so I guess it wouldn't last as long in a country that you would use it all the time.
Yep, I understand that, but like for $169.
Worth it. You just replace
just
it.
Buy a new one. Don't even bother find it.
Yeah.
And then we've got in the cab area, we've got the smart monitor. We originally paid $800 for that. You can actually retail them now at $500. So that's the price I'm going to put now as of today.
What, 400?
500.
500.
500 for that one.
800 we paid for that.
Yes, because it was a smart monitor and there wasn't very many around at the time, and it was, I believe, it's a 32-inch monitor.
It's quite
it's a large monitor, but we do need it for editing. And a normal TV doesn't work, does it?
We also, because it's so far away at the front, we actually pull it forward, use it as a TV as such for movies and stuff. And we need a big monitor for that sort of stuff, don't you? So, worth it.
And moving on to the fact that we can move it around, the arm that we put it on, we actually bought that. That was from a company called Ergotron, and I think we paid around $300 for that one. But it's very, very good.
It's heavy, but I think it's what they use in hospitals, isn't it?
It's what they use for the hospitals, for the monitors and equipment there. So you can actually take a monitor with I think they're like the PC, the Apple ones. They're quite heavy.
Yeah.
I think they can take one of them and with no problem. It's fully adjustable. You just tighten up the tension on the springs inside it, and and makes it sort of zero
weight. Yeah, it's weird.
Zero weight. It's weird. It's amazing. And that tucks up nicely, and we have that all strapped in, and it's perfect. Last thing we have in here is our Wi-Fi system in this area. So we've got the RV Wi-Fi system and the Celtec phone booster system. Now that works reasonably well most places, but as soon as you get more rural, that's when we're going to have to upgrade, I think.
Yeah, Starlink, I reckon, all the way, especially if you're going to be in remote areas. RV Wi-Fi, we thought, was a good deal. We paid, how much did you say that was?
That was...
$1,600, was it?
$1,679 for the full kit. That was with a antenna that goes on the roof, and the RV Wi-Fi router, and also the Celtec booster, which was all one kit, so it was an offer.
Yeah, it is cheaper than Skynet.
The Starlink.
Who's seen it?
Not Skynet. It's not the rise of the machines. So with Starlink, the kit is cheaper, but the running cost is quite expensive.
Yeah, that's why we didn't go for it initially, but I think we're going to have to.
Whereas we only pay $50 a month for data on the actual Wi-Fi.
I do believe you can make the Starlink 12 volt and permanently mounted on the roof. I've seen someone make a video about that. We haven't actually looked into it properly, but I think that might be our angle.
And you can guarantee we'll probably modify something. Not that we do that much. Anyway. So that concludes the office.
Right, on to the kitchen.
My glamour assistant here will now be doing the kitchen area.
I want to sort of mix it up a little bit. Alright, I don't understand his writing, so bear with me.
If she asks a few questions, I'll just tell her. I don't write that badly.
Yeah, okay. Alright, first off we have the IKEA sink. That is $169.
$169 for the sink, but you've got all the fittings as well. I think the tap was $60 as well.
Is it down here?
I forgot to put that down. I just put down the sink.
Okay, the sink and the taps.
We'll just add $69 at the end.
Right, $169 plus $69 for the taps as well.
Yeah, they were IKEA.
IKEA cooktop we went for. It was the only place that actually sold a one ring
Induction
cooktop. Everywhere RVs and caravans and stuff, they had the dual. We don't need dual because we can't actually run it on the inverter that we've got. So
well, the main thing we were looking for is one that sank into the counter. All the ones that we found, the single ones, were standalone units.
Yeah, they were portable.
We'd seen someone, a company had actually sunk a standalone unit in it, and it stood too high and didn't look very nice.
Yeah, so we wanted one.
It took us ages to find it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we had to rewire it a little bit. Didn't we?
No, they had a wiring issue with their stockage. That's why we had trouble getting that.
Oh, okay. Are you following along, guys? Alright, our worktops. This is really special to our heart. It is Tasmanian oak, and we absolutely love Tasmania. If you haven't seen our series, go have a look. So it's actually quite significant in our van to have Tasmanian oak, but they were Bunnings worktops that are stained. What are they stained?
They're stained with an oak stain, and then they've been varnished with a high gloss varnish. So we have, that's all the worktops in here, all the lagoon tables,
and
the
total figure?
Various pieces of trim. So yes, that was $300.
Oh, $300 for all the worktops.
I used bits for other things, and the little tables that flip down. So there was lots of little pieces.
Oh, okay. Cabinetry. Oh.
This is all the cabinetry. This is all of the cabinets, the kitchen units, the doors, and everything that you can see.
Now you're sitting down. Have you got a cup of tea? It's quite expensive, but I think it looks lovely. The cabinetry were a total cost of $3,369. But look,
it's the cabinets themselves are actually quite cost effective. It's when you get to the high gloss fronts and the door fronts and the door fronts, you can pick any colour you like, and they come in with loads of different finishes and different designs, and that's where the money gets
We
spent.
chose high gloss because we're in a van. You want to be able to wipe it down and not have to worry about dirt settling on it, and it looks spectacular in my opinion. It looks really neat.
It's bright, it's clean, and it doesn't attract too much dirt, and even if you do, it just wipes off really quickly.
Now I think this is part of the build where I thought this is getting really dear, and I was a bit hesitant on a few things after that to approve because, you know, it starts adding up. Alright, oh, the tiles?
The tiles, yeah, the kitchen tiles. The kitchen tiles.
Oh, the kitchen tiles, the backsplash on the kitchen, they are not real. They are a stick-on that we got from Kmart, I believe.
They're an adhesive tile that you cut to size, and it was $60 for 4 packs.
I remember you swearing putting that up though.
It was a bit, but it looks great, and it hasn't fallen off yet.
No.
I am surprised because there's been a few things that have come unstuck in this van due to the heat in the van in here constantly, and that has not.
Yeah, it looks really nice, and it matches everything in here, and it's glossy and
amazing. Where do we go to? Oh,
okay. The
RV Labs latches.
The RV Labs latches. Now these latches are Australian made. We love these latches. They look really neat. They really complement the IKEA cabinets, and our glossy fronts are really nice. But they can be pricey. They are pricey.
I think they're about $30 each. And we got the factory seconds ones, which have a slight defect.
Which I don't even notice.
You don't even notice.
But just to save that little bit of money, I think it was after the K-Tom and the cabinet price.
We've got them down to $16 each as factory seconds, which was a great.
Anywhere you can save.
We did actually. We didn't just go, oh, let's throw money at everything. Yes, we threw money at things, but we made sure we threw as little money as we could and what options we had available.
Yeah, so in total for the RV Lab latches, we have $269 in total for the all of the latches.
That includes the cabinet latches as well.
Yeah. For
the overhead cabinets.
The next one we have our beloved Sirocco fan. Now, everyone goes on about these fans, and they are well deserved. It is because we only have room for one fan in here because of the lift bed and all that. But this fan's great because you can swivel it around. It gives ventilation to the kitchen area. Plus you can swivel it and it gives ventilation for the lounge and our upstairs bedroom.
It's really power efficient. It doesn't. It's whisper quiet. Yeah. It's running at the moment. I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah, we'll replay this later. Here.
Yeah. Is that a measurement?
What is that in the background?
They only pull about a tenth of an amp. They don't pull much at all. They're really, really good. And yeah, really impressed with those. They come in white and they come in black, but they are a little bit
I quite
pricey.
like that white one though. I know we said we want to go black, and
I know. I think
white. Oh, sorry, I found. Anyway, that's their personal choice. It comes in black or white.
And they are $200.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that, did I?
This is the problem. We're telling you about everything. If there's any ones that we've missed,
please make a comment if we've missed something.
Although I'll try and catch it in the edit. If we don't say it, I'll
pop
put
it
the
up
price
on the
up
screen.
anyway.
No, it's a lot of editing. Alright, the next thing, we didn't mention this in our tour because we completely forgot about it, didn't we? Because we've got it quite hidden. It is our water heater. It's also from our previous build, so we didn't actually have to rebuy. We didn't have to buy this one for our new build, but what is the actual heater called?
I think it's a Duetto...
we'll put it on the screen.
It's a Duetto water heater, and it's a dual element heater, so you can rather run it off of 240 volts
that's right.
or you can run it off of the 12 volt system. So we generally run it off the 240 volts because it's quicker than the 12 volt system, and it pulls less current, although that doesn't really make sense. But it works very well with the shore power as well when you're plugged in, so that's usually left on that instead of switching over to 12 volts.
It only takes, we turn it on when we're driving or something like that, and it only takes about 10 or 15 minutes to heat up.
Yeah, we run it through the inverter. It takes 10 or 15 minutes to heat up whilst we're driving, so there's no power loss there. Or if it's full sun and we're getting good solar, we'll have it on during the day.
You can wash the dishes and have 2 full showers perfectly without running out of water.
Yeah,
So.
it holds a 10 litre capacity. You heat the water, it's thermostatically controlled. You can heat the water to what temperature you feel like, and then just leave it that way. And even as you use it, it's still heating it at the same time when it runs through the system. So you can get 2 goodish showers out of it.
Well, as we say, you're not standing there having a 10-minute shower, obviously. You're
not contemplating your life and the meaning of the world.
Van life shower.
Shower.
Turn it on. Wash yourself.
Yes.
Spray it off.
It's a military shower.
Yeah.
Very, very military.
All right. Moving on. Next thing is the water pump. Did you buy the water pump?
Yes, we fitted a new water pump because the original one was
yes.
We hated it, so we've got a nice whisper quiet one.
I love our water pump. It is the quietest thing. You don't even hear it.
Yes.
I think
it was left on the other day and I come in and I thought...
It's a slight hum.
There's a slight hum and it was like, oh, it's on.
Yeah, it's great. What sort of one is it?
That's a Seaflow Supreme, and it does 9.6 litres per minute, which is pretty powerful. The old ones used to do 5 litres a minute.
Oh.
We coupled that up with an expander tank, a Fiamma expander tank, and that keeps the flow nice. You don't get it black.
Let me do the
and the
water
prices
pump.
for both
Yes. The prices for the water pump is $114.96. I like how you're very specific with the cents.
Yes, but come on, it gives it credibility.
Other things. Oh, we just put all that in together. $114.96. This is the ones we've actually looked at receipts for.
If we can get the exact amount, I'll give you the exact amount. We do not include the postage for all of these items are included in that, and we did get slaughtered on some of them.
Some of the stuff we got.
$80 in postage for some of the items. So that's or they say it's free postage, and the price is ridiculous.
Yes, the expansion tank. That price was
that was $70.
Is that a 6 or a 7?
That's a 7. That's right. This is
my
writing.
I wrote it out
twice very quickly. I was under pressure here.
And we have plumbing costs.
So general plumbing costs is all the pipes, the brackets, the cable ties, silicone sealant, everything. Anything that was plumbing orientated to actually fit the bathroom and the sink, all pipe work, all sealant, and everything else generally came to around $350.
And 23 cents.
And yes. And then finally in the kitchen we have...
Oh, there's 2 more things up here. The fridge. Now, we may have a few questions about the fridge. It's always a popular item because it was in our previous build. It is a Vitafrigo 150 slim line?
Slim 150.
Slim 150. I absolutely love the fridge. But I wouldn't have... It's not something I would have thought about building it. I probably would have got one of those smaller ones that everyone else is getting. But hands down the best thing in this van, I think. But it is a little bit pricey. So this...
they do. I think they retail about $2,500.
$2,500.
I didn't actually put the price on, but I'll put the price up now. And there you go. And then the last thing in the kitchen with the tank gauges that we use for our water tank and our grey water tank.
I thought they're so expensive. $150.
But that's for the 2 sensors that go into the tanks and for the actual digital readout. So that's not too bad. Electric stuff is expensive, especially when it comes to RV specific or caravan specialist equipment, where there's an industry where you're not really going to use it everywhere.
RV tax.
It is. It's van life tax.
Van life tax, like vegan tax.
And that pretty much completes our kitchen area.
And that completes the kitchen area. Alright, sorry about that. We just need a little bathroom break.
Yeah, we need to compose
This is
ourselves.
so long.
Feel free to pause this video and go for a bathroom break at any time that you wish.
Sorry, this is so long.
Also, yeah, it does take a long time to go through this because it was a very extensive van build and it took nearly a year.
Over a year.
Over a year.
But speaking of bathrooms, I'd like Timothy to talk about our bathroom.
So the bathroom is very, very simple. In this, we have the toilet, which is a Thetford with an electric flush because we're fancy people. That was $279, and
that was quite cheap.
We just got that from Outback Equipment, I think.
We did look at the real deer. What are they called?
Oh, the composting toilets, the Nature's Head.
$2,000 they were going to charge for us for that. We were going to buy one, and then realised, really.
When you're generally driving around, you don't really need a toilet other than for number ones. Really.
You can find a toilet anywhere. We've got a toilet app if you really need to go other
We'll put
business.
the toilet app on the screen to show you what we do. Or how we do it. The toilet app.
Oh! I thought you
show
put
you
the
what we're
toilet on the
doing.
screen to see how we go. I'm like,
Oh my
no,
goodness.
what?
It's been a long day. It's been a very long day. Right, anyway, we've got the toilet, and sitting on that toilet is sitting on the shower tray. Now, the shower tray was just a piece of plastic that was textured and had a drain hole in it. And I could not find anyone else that made one that was a caravan
And
or
we didn't
RV
want it
specific.
to leak. See, we were building up for something here.
We didn't want it to leak. It was an atrocious cost of $192.99
It's
for
a piece of plastic with a hole in it.
It was
I will let you
a flat
take that
piece of plastic. And talking about expensive piece of plastic, the shower wall at the back, those classic subway tiles that
see
look
they're
absolutely
nice.
fantastic. Brilliant. It is brilliant.
Lovely.
And we actually reused the side walls from the original shower.
We weren't
just
going
made it
to,
bigger.
but after we paid for these back wall, we thought, no, we're going to reuse the
This
original
one
build.
panel, which I could only cut once. Do you remember? We videoed it and we go, oh, I can't watch this, and you walked away. That cost $189.99.
For a piece of plastic on
Just
the wall.
for a piece of plastic on a wall. Anyway, moving on, as you can see, festooned in the shower cubicle area, we do have suction fittings for the baskets, etc. And we also have a couple in here. We've got one over there and one over there. They came to a total of $200, and they were from Bunnings.
I know that sounds
Really
dear,
good
but
quality.
they do not fall off that wall, and we go through some rough roads, and
They're
they
powder
haven't
coated. They look really good.
They haven't fallen down, and they're just brilliant.
Yeah, and also we have the suction cups that go on. They come down every now and again, but they're the suction cups for the hooks.
Oh, they come
But
down.
that's because we've got heavy wet towels on them. That doesn't help.
But
The shower fittings we got from Bunnings. There's a black set of shower fittings. They were just the ones off the shelf there. They were $200. Nothing special. As in, like, we didn't send off to Guatemala to have them sent to us, made by maidens or something. Then we had the shower screen, the retractable shower screen, which we really did want because we had a door originally, and every time someone went to the toilet, we had
to do the shuffle.
We had to do the shuffle, or if you walked past and they were coming out of the toilet, you had
like
to
a smack
dive
in
out
the
the
face.
way. So yeah. That was a little bit pricey. That was from a company called Glideaway, and that came in at $342.00. But it is actually worth it. It works really well, and I think it's got a great look, and it self cleans, squeegees as well.
Yeah,
So,
self cleans, but you can have it shut if you don't want to look at the toilet all the time. It doesn't really bother us, but if you do want to shut it, I was thinking of actually putting a little shower curtain across there just to keep the aesthetics, but I don't think I'll bother. I don't really mind.
No, it's just it's nice to have. Like if we have visitors or guests, we can just
shut the
close
door.
it and go, where's the bathroom? Oh, it's over there.
Well, you would never know.
Anyway, that's everything in the shower, really. It's a very basic place, and
It's a very basic place.
it does what it does. It fulfills our needs. It keeps us clean. It keeps us...
Yeah.
What does it keep us? Ablutions or whatever. There's something
What?
to do. Anyway, it helps us get rid of the waste that we need to get rid of. Moving on.
Alright, my turn for the lounge. So it's one of my favourite areas. I have two favourite areas in this van. This is one of them. So oh yes, like the first thing's the most expensive.
It's because it lives in the lounge, that's why it's
right,
in the lounge.
Fair enough. I would have thought I'd put that in electronics, but... Okay, so the first thing I'd like to mention for our lounge area is our AC unit. We actually ended up with a Truma Sapphire. We bought a EcoFlow initially. We thought it'd be great. Everyone seems to go on about them, but...
It just didn't cut it.
It just didn't...
Great little unit, looked great, but it just didn't cut it for what we needed.
No, I think the outlets were a bit too large, and I think you needed to like segment off different areas of the van to actually cool it down. I think we've got too big a van for it, I think.
Yeah, the one that we bought was a much higher capacity.
Yeah, it's actually built for caravans to sit under bunk, and we can put ducting through the van to all different areas, so it cools the whole van all at the same time.
Instead of just out of one outlet.
Perfect. The only downside to it, I would say, in comparison to EcoFlow, is that it doesn't have its own battery pack. So you have to have shore power to run it, or a pretty decent inverter, which we have a fairly decent one. We could probably run it for about half hour, 45 minutes.
It's not so much the inverter, it's the battery capacity.
Oh, battery capacity.
The inverter will run it lovely, but it will pull a huge amount out of the battery.
Yeah.
So you'll lose 10% of the battery very, very quickly.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the only difference. That's one of the differences.
It's good for emergencies. I need to be cool.
Right now.
Call me now.
We didn't say how much it was. We're not very good at this. The Truma Sapphire was $2,000.
You can get it cheaper from different sites, but we actually got it with the ducting included. The ducting is quite expensive, and it's a hard size to get hold of.
You hold this and I'll hold my dog.
I'll hold that. You hold the child.
Pablo would like to come say hello. He's getting a little bit restless. Alright.
So the main feature of our lounge area...
Cats.
Seats.
Oh.
Cat. How'd you get... Starts with an S.
Scats.
The Scats.
So in our lounge area, you will notice we have lovely seating. This is just memory foam we bought from Clark Rubber, and we got it covered with just some material from Fabric Frenzy.
Fabric Frenzy, yeah. It's just a fake leather finish, like
and
a suede effect. It's quite nice.
We were lucky enough to have a friend of ours who can sew. So
An awesome friend. Thank you, Kay.
Thank you, Kay. So the seats in total cost us $500, which
That's for the foam and the material.
Bargain. Absolute bargain. Normally, I think we had a friend of ours who was building their van, and they got quoted $2,500 for something very similar. So we saved in that area.
Yeah, if you're good, if you're handy with a sewing machine,
try and make your own. Definitely.
Or repurpose some cushions off an old couch as well, because that is
foam's dear.
A much less dense foam. We used a dense foam for the base, and it was okay for the base, but for the backs it was a bit uncomfortable. So we've recently replaced that foam with softer pillows.
Yeah, we've got pillows in the back now, so it's nicer.
We are enveloped.
Look at our faces.
Look at the comfort. Anyway, moving on. We've done that.
I'm doing the lounge.
Okay, I'm doing the lounge. Sorry.
I just got you to hold it because I had Pablo here. Okay. The next thing in the lounge, which I absolutely love, we touched on it a little bit earlier, was the speakers in the back. This helps us hear the music that we've got playing in the front of the cab really smoothly in the back, and we can also hook it up to. What am I saying?
We can have surround sound system when we're listening to watching the movie, and it actually sounds really good. Actually,
yeah.
They are marine quality speakers, so they don't fade. They're quite robust, and we got them from Road Tech Marine. That's where we got them from.
Oh, so they're actually boat ones.
They're actually boat ones.
$60.
And they're waterproof, because most of the time you get that odd shower where the back door's open and things get wet, and I didn't want them going on normal speakers. The marine ones, they get splashed all the time, and they're UV stable, so we're not going to have yellow ones like the outside thing.
Thank goodness. The next thing in the back is our lagoon tables. Now sorry, Pablo. We don't have proper lagoon tables.
We used to have in our previous van, Pepper. We had a lagoon table in that, and we paid premium prices for that. They were $352 each, just for the frame.
Not for these. There's another company that does them. The measurements are pretty much the same. I think they're only different by a millimetre or so.
To look at side by side, I did compare them because I got them while we still had the van originally. Look at side by side, all the difference that you could tell was that it had a blue sticker that said Lagoon on it.
No, there was a measurement difference about a millimetre.
About a millimetre, 2 millimetres. The quality is very similar.
For two of them?
For two fake Lagoon.
Pairs, no. For 2 fake Lagoon tables, they came to a total of, you've got cents on this one, $235.60.
And that included postage.
How cool's that?
And that was on eBay. It goes, if you put in RV table, they come up as an RV table. And I actually saw them today for $85 each. So...
Well, we're just building a van at the wrong time.
I think it's supply and demand.
Alright, next thing. Through the whole entire van, we have flooring. Of course we have flooring.
We have flooring because that stops us from going through onto the road. This is essential when building a van. Also, ceilings. Very good. You need them to stop the sky falling on your head.
Help me.
Anyway, with the flooring. We have vinyl flooring throughout the vehicle.
From Bunnings. And what colour did we get? We call it Pablo coloured because it's exactly the same colour as my dog.
It's Chihuahua oak. I don't know which colour it is, but it's the self-adhesive strips. You lay them like planks. They stick down very, very easy.
Oh, they're stick ones, aren't they?
Very easy to cut. And also, when we had to do a little bit of a reshuffle in here, I had a few left over, and so I just matched up the floor perfectly. And even just cutting them to shape, just with Stanley knife, nice straight line. Crack it and it's done.
So far so good. They haven't lifted or anything?
Really well. We haven't lifted. We had a slight bit of liftage when they first went on, but then they were fine.
Oh, okay. Well, the whole floor cost $165.
Yeah, I think it worked out 2 packs worth.
Only 2. And we still got leftovers?
And we still got leftovers.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, you don't actually need as much as you think.
And that concludes our lounge area. So now let's move on to the upstairs area of our van, our bedroom.
That's your section.
Alright, apparently this is my section.
There's only got one bed in it, so... The pièce de résistance.
I think this has to be the main thing in our van actually. It makes us a little bit different from other van builds and we absolutely love it. We have a lift bed in our van. It's from Compact Innovations. I will put up the link to the video that when we installed it so you can see what exactly you get in the pack. And
when you buy the bed, you get exclusive access to the installation videos. Very well put together, very well explained, and they are also there for technical support. We did have a problem with the bed, but I think that was a problem with the fact that
was an installation issue from us.
We kinked a cable,
yeah,
and it kept throwing a fault on the system.
But the good thing is...
But we went up there, and Coral from Compact Innovations, she sorted that out without any trouble or any extra cost to us. She was fabulous.
The good thing is about it, if there is any fault in it, you get a little booklet, and it comes up with the fault number, and it tells you exactly where it is. And that helps a lot, doesn't it? So you know exactly where to go to, and yeah.
There's no specialist wiring, it's all plug and play. You just attach the rams to the side of the van, make sure they're all straight and level, and then you plug them all into the main power unit and then a power supply, and then you're good to go, really. Yeah. You just design your own bed. They don't supply the bed, you design your own bed to fit your configuration.
We're actually affiliated with Compact Innovations, and we'll put a link down below of our direct link to them. So if you are interested in a lift bed for yourself, please click the link below and they'll help us out a little bit.
Or if you just want to go and have a look,
Or if you just want to have a sticky beak, just put a link below.
Traffic is good.
Traffic is good. Alright, the next thing in the bedroom is...
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it.
For the bedroom.
That's the only thing in the bedroom. Oh, the skylights in the bedroom.
Yeah, but that came up, that was at the beginning, the skylight when we did the exterior.
Oh, that's the exterior. Okay.
There is the mattress, that was $500 from...
Oh.
That was a foam mattress from
from a Clark Rubber. Look.
It's been really good so far, but now I think it's starting to...
I think we need to
give us a bit of backache, so we might explore into having a proper made one.
The good thing is about it, it was... I'd say relatively cheap. It's $500, was it?
We're limited by the height that we can go up. So the thicker your mattress, the lower the ceiling. So like, it's a bit of a
Yeah, I think we've got a 13
payoff
centimeter.
between the two. Yeah.
I think we've got a 13 centimeter bed mattress up there.
Yeah.
The good thing is about the Clark rubber mattress is it's only $500, and every other mattress I looked at for an RV was around $2,000. So you know, if we thought to ourselves,
And it's super light.
if we need to replace it, we'll just get a new one. I mean, we're still saving money.
It's a super light mattress as well.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
literally lifted up.
You can lift it yourself and throw it in.
Yeah, the original one that we had in the old build was just a house mattress. A house mattress. You know, something that you would have in a normal house. But it was quite thick, and it was a really good quality one.
It was comfortable. However, it was really
It was so heavy.
Oh my gosh.
I was busting my neck
And
lifting it
as
up.
you know, weight is key in van building. Keep everything as light as possible.
You'd be glad to know it's
Everything
still
adds
underweight.
It is.
Just, but it's still underweight. Right, so that's...
Hang on, yeah. So that concludes the bedroom area.
And now we go back to just everything else that's not in a separate area, which is just generally electrics and the miscellaneous items that you would associate with a van build. So when we come to electrics, we're looking at the battery. The battery we had to replace. We've got a nice.
Straight up,
It's called a Giant battery, but it is from a company called Giant. It's a 340 amp hour battery, and it was $1,899.99.
Actually, that's a really good price. The other
For a lithium battery of that size.
That was like half price or something, wasn't it, at the time?
Yes.
Brilliant.
So all the lighting throughout, we have so much lighting in this vehicle, it's unbelievable. All the lighting throughout, all the under cabinet lighting, all the lighting in the bathroom, etc, etc. This lighting here, the lighting up here, we have a lot of lighting.
There's a lot
you may
of
have
this
guessed. That came to $250 for all the light fittings. The inverter we had from a previous build, that was a 3000 watt kick-ass inverter. Great. I love Australian products.
Kick-ass inverter.
That was from the previous build, but actually retails today at $750.
Do you know what was funny? When I saw that as an ad for an RV or a van, I thought they were just saying their inverter was really good, like
It was
kick-ass.
really good. It was kick-ass. No, it's actually the manufacturer.
No, it's actually the brand.
Rightio. The B2B charger is from Energive. That was from the previous build. We just transferred that over. It was still in good condition, but they retail at $469. We have a Victron Smart Shunt, which we use to monitor our battery on an app. Retails at $169. Other electrics and miscellaneous, we've got all the cabling. And
you can't read your own writing.
Yeah, sorry. So all the cables, the electric sockets, and everything that needed to run the electrical system, all the miscellaneous parts for that came to about $600 in total. USBs throughout came to about $120 in total. That's not including the cab. That's a separate system. They run off a different battery. That's why I did them separately. Insulation, that cost about $150 to insulate the whole van. It already had some in, but we just doubled up and made it even warmer in here, or cooler.
Or cooler.
Outside, the deadlocks were $500. That was just an extra layer of security. Wood throughout, around
paneling and everything?
This wood paneling, all of it throughout, is about $500. We did use a lot of
That's not including the
base frame wood. Yeah, the Tasmanian oak panels, they were separate. They were listed in the kitchen. A lot of the framing wood we used from the original build, so that was free for us. Screws and miscellaneous, that's screws, bolts, little vent panels, little bits of fascia, anything that I needed to make it look pretty. That came to about $400. Did I say paint and varnish?
I don't think so.
Paint and varnish, that actually came in at about $400. That was quite expensive because 3 or 4 coats of paint takes a long time.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, 3 or 4 coats of paint throughout. We've got the varnish. That's 3 coats of each piece of wood. There's tons of varnishing in here as well. So I think we did all right. But that's $400. The wallpaper, that came as a kit. That was a mural kit that came with all the wallpaper paste, the tools and everything to do the job, which was great. That was $70.
It came with like a full bucket of paste and had one wall.
Yeah. If they gave you a packet of paste, it was just, I could have done a whole house with the amount of, it was like, that was it. That's all I needed to do. So we would paint, varnish, screw and miscellaneous wallpaper. These hardcore lights, which we do use a lot.
Best lights ever.
They're really good for
Seeing
lighting the mood. And seeing in the dark. They're handy for that. They also have a hazard light function as well, so if we do break down, I can just stick them to the side of the van and they'll flash away.
The best thing about those is then we actually move them around in the van to where we need extra lighting and just magnetise them or tie them. We've got a little elastic tie in the back, just anything. It's just so good.
Even with all the lighting that we have in this van,
we still need more.
It's like I might need to get inside the battery cupboard and do some work. It's perfect for that sort of thing. Or if I need to get underneath the vehicle and have a look at something, you know. It's great for that. They were $100 for a kit of 4, but because we spent so much money at Outback Equipment, we got some loyalty points back with them, and I think we got another set of them for about $50. Yeah, so we got $50.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
That is pretty much it for what we can think of, and that comes to...
Oh, wait. I just want to say, our original van, we bought this van, was already kitted out. And just to remind you, it's a 2004 Mercedes T1N Sprinter and a 313 CDI long wheelbase. Takes me a lot of brain power to get all that out. We bought that obviously secondhand and built by a previous owner, and we paid $42,000 for it, which I thought was a bargain at the time.
It was. We were fighting off people to get to it. There was actually 2 people that actually wanted it, and they were trying to get finance.
I didn't know.
And we jumped in. We were lucky enough to have cash, so we jumped in with cash.
Wow. Yeah, we absolutely loved it, and we were trying to be... It's funny because we were trying to poker face it. Oh, no. Yeah, it's all right.
I don't know.
We'll have to think about it. And inside we're like going...
We like this.
We're buying it. So, yes, continue on with it.
Absolutely useless poker face. Anyway... Our total cost for this build...
Well, for the build only, it was...
The build only, that's not including labour. Oh my goodness. Imagine if I had to pay myself. The total cost for all the parts and everything that went into the van to make it such a beautiful vehicle that we live in now, our home, came to $26,023.46. Australian.
So in total, the van actually in total now costs $68,023.46.
That's if you include the original build and everything like that. If we were actually built this from the beginning, we probably would have picked the van up
cheaper
for about
van.
$20,000.
But then again, we wouldn't have been able to repurpose some of the stuff in here. And some of the stuff we repurposed is quite dear, like the fridge, etc. So.
And we did sell the aircon system from the ceiling. That was $700 we got for that. So that was a small saving in the pictures of it all. So that converts from Australian dollars into US dollars. That would have been $16,956.89. If you was in the UK, that would have cost you £13,449.96.
That's good.
And if you was in India, just for those people that might be interested in doing the same thing in India, it would have cost you 1,417,491.4 rupees.
Wow.
We could go on, but I think we've already gone on enough.
I hope you enjoyed our video and it helped you decide whether you'll get a professional build or build one yourself. Personally, give it a go. You can learn anything on YouTube, can't you? And it's things that you didn't know.
There's a lot of things I learned off of YouTube. I had a bit of a skills base to start with. I also had a lot of tools to start with. So if you're starting from scratch, I would suggest you get yourself an impact driver, a good set of screwdrivers, a wood saw, a jigsaw, a disc saw, and you pretty much you're going to be able to build something good out of that.
Just in perspective, we got quoted for a professional build from a blank van over in Australia. They quoted us $75,000 just for the build,
and that was 4 years ago.
And look, it would have been really slick and professional, but this is, I think, and it's up to scratch, and we only paid 26. So
the 26, we've got what we wanted. We changed it several times,
and we were able to make those decisions based on our use and things that would have worked better for us. Whereas if we went with them and gave them what we thought we wanted, we wouldn't have been able to change
somebody's interpretation of your vision sometimes isn't quite what you get. We found that out when we had our original van, Pepper. We asked the van builder to build a van for us. He got it about 95% right.
A couple of things.
But that 5% made a lot of difference to us in the end, and that's why we went for something bigger.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really happy with our build.
So if you do get someone to build it, make sure you go through absolutely everything you want, where you want everything positioned, and what you're getting for your money, because we wanted a max air fan in the original van that we got built, and we just got a cheap fan put in. But we paid for the max air fan, so be very careful. It wasn't worth chasing up in the end, because we were actually quite pleased with the build. But it was just one of those little things. It was like, well, I thought I was getting this, and I really got that.
Yeah. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and
always leave a comment. If you feel like a sticker, I'll send you a sticker. I say it every week. Also, we do have Buy Us a Coffee. If you want to help support us, by all means, buy us a coffee or Pablo a treat, and we would really appreciate that if you did that. But
and don't forget,
no pressure.
And don't forget Compact Innovations in the link below.
Give them a look.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.